You are listening to the Downtowner Podcast. I am your host, Jeremiah Schrock. This January marks the 2-year anniversary of the Fairbanks Children's Museum making their permanent home downtown. Earlier this month, we sat down with Brenda Riley, the executive director of the museum, to catch up. We asked her how the museum's first 2 years downtown had been, what she likes about having her museum downtown, and some of her organization's major accomplishments. Brenda, I know you get this question a lot, but could you tell our listeners what exactly the Fairbanks Children's Museum is?
The Fairbanks Children's Museum is an awesome space that's designed for families and groups of children roughly aged 1 to 10, although we have teenagers who come in who are, maybe they're taking care of a younger sibling or they're being dragged in by a parent and they're having a fantastic time too. I know my teens love it. It's a place where everything is touchable. There's nothing that you just look at and don't touch. That's not our kind of a museum. I like to think of a children's museum as a starter museum. So this is what gets kids really in that habit of we want to go to the museum. And as they get older and they become teenagers and they want to go to a science and technology center, they want to go to the Museum of the North because that museum going experience is already ingrained in them. And it's a wonderful way to continue to learn as you get older.
So Brenda, how would you describe the first couple of years downtown?
Oh, it's hard to believe that it's been 2 years since the Children's Museum opened. It's been a whirlwind. It's been amazing and fun. We can't love it enough. Our families are so happy to be here. It's been a wonderful 2 years.
What would you say has been the museum's biggest accomplishment these past 2 years?
It's so hard to just pick out a few major accomplishments. And I want to say one of the biggest accomplishment is that we opened here. We started the Children's Museum just 5.5 years ago. And the fact that after 3.5 years, we could open a large museum that's open 6 days a week to families year round, that's our biggest accomplishment. And that we have visitors and families who come every day and who love the museum and really cherish their time here. That's the best thing.
Great. So Brenda, what do you love most about being downtown?
One of the things we love about being in downtown Fairbanks is we're centrally located and we feel like we're part of a neighborhood. So while there are other places we could have located the museum, they don't have that same hometown feel that being downtown has. So it's really awesome that families can come to the museum and then take a walk across the street and get lunch and do a little bit of shopping or sightseeing. That's pretty unique here.
Brenda, I want to talk about demographics. Who tends to use the museum the most?
Generally speaking, most of our visitors are visiting with young children. Vast majority are from the Fairbanks North Star Borough and the surrounding communities. So we do see families from the interior of Alaska, and that is our focus. We also see a lot of visitors, people who are coming to experience Alaska. They're traveling in a group with young children, could be like parents and kids, grandparents bringing their kids and their grandchildren. And they're really surprised to see a children's museum here. It's something you typically see in a large city. So if you go to Portland, there's the Portland Children's Museum. A community this size doesn't always have a children's museum to visit. So we're always excited when we have out-of-town visitors and they are actually usually really impressed with what we have here in the museum. And then we also pride ourselves on being inclusive of our visitors with all levels of abilities. So we do serve a lot of adults with developmental disabilities and the organizations and caretakers who care for them too. So it's a very inclusive and welcoming place.
What would you say has been the most surprising moment or experience that you've had?
I think one of the biggest surprises that I personally have experienced here is the depth in which the museum becomes a part of a lot of families' lives. That now that we've been open for nearly 2 years, our 2-year anniversary in downtown is January 31st. we've seen kids grow. We've seen kids learn to walk. We've seen kids learn to talk, and we've just seen them really develop. We have families who visit, anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And so it wasn't really a benefit that I was expecting to experience myself. And I know that I speak for my staff when we have just an incredible large family here, and we can all share in, parenting and caregiving and teaching, and we can provide families with the resources that they can then take home and experience the power of play for their children's development. It's really an awesome thing, and not something that you put into a business plan. And it's not typically something that you present to a funder or a donor, but it's the most powerful thing that we've done here.
Fantastic. So I know that a big part of any nonprofit are the partnerships it develops. Do you want to